challenges might family and friends of someone diagnosed with psoriatic arthritis experience, Dr. Lakai?
Well, I would think the greatest challenge is for them to really understand what you're going through. They need to learn about it, they need to understand it, they need to read about it. There's a part of this that's their responsibility to learn about the disease. And there's also part of it that's also you communicating with them so that they can truly understand what you are going through. They may be experiencing losses as well, the same way that you're experiencing losses. If you've given up activities, you may be giving up activities that you're doing together that also affects them. So it's understanding that whole dynamic of emotions, and you both recognize that this disease is not only affecting you, but it's also affecting them.
So when friends or family ask the person diagnosed what causes psoriatic arthritis, or are there any cures, help us help them.
Yeah.
What would you say?
It's a hard one to answer. We call diseases like psoriatic arthritis autoimmune diseases. And what that means is that the immune system reacts against the self and starts to attack different parts of the body, and it causes inflammation in those parts of the body. Unfortunately, there is no cure. So we have very effective treatment that can control that process and prevent it from getting worse, but the treatments only work while you're on them.
And that's the difference between a physician's definition of a cure and a patient's definition of a cure. Dr. Lakai, under Canadian labor laws, is an employee required to disclose their disease to their employer?
So you're not required by law to disclose your disease unless it's going to affect the essential duties of your job. Then you do have to say it. Sometimes it may be useful for you to disclose when the time is right, but there's no black and white answer as to when the time is right. So generally, if your disease is starting to interfere with you doing your job, and people might notice that you're not doing it the same way you used to do, and then they're going to start wondering, well, what's going on? Well, it may be better for them to know that it's your disease.
So they're noticing a performance drop-off.
Yeah, that's right. Because then otherwise they will have other interpretations. You are completely free to decide what you tell, how much you tell, who you tell, and when you tell.
What are things that can make physical intimacy difficult for patients with psoriatic arthritis? And I suspect your answer is probably going to be applicable across diseases with disability. And how do you advise patients to talk to their rheumatologist about this topic in particular?
Yeah.
Because it's one that goes overlooked or unspoken.
Doctors often won't ask because they don't know how comfortable you will be talking about it. Some physicians may be comfortable asking, but others may not. And it's not because they don't care, but it's because they're not sure how comfortable you would be, and they don't want to be perceived as prying. So I think talking about intimacy rather than sex might be a way that might make some people more comfortable. Other people's it may not matter. Often patients are afraid that it could be damaging to them, and that because of the range of motion, if like for example if the hips are affected, and so it may be having to be creative and to be thinking of different positions, and so it's being able to talk about it with your partner and being able to talk about it with your physician and discussing it just the way you're discussing all other activities that are important in your life. It's like talking about your daily activities, your work, your intimacy. Those are all part of the activities that matter to you, and bringing it up in that context might be a helpful way of bringing it up.